All right, now, even with all of that, Odell Beckham Jr. is in the building, folks, after weeks of speculation on when or even if OBJ would show up and if he'll even be on the team. There was a little beacon of light after the star wide receiver reported for day one voluntary workouts. And Pat Shurmur gave his thoughts on the Odell appearance.
Odell's a professional. He wants to be great. And, he understands the importance of the offseason. And, he's a competitive guy. He's a professional, and I'm glad he's here today.
I think that's important, when those things happen, is to have great communication, with your coaches and with the ownership and whatnot, and make sure everybody's on the same page. And so I never got too concerned with it. We all know the talent that Odell has and what he brings to the football field, and, look forward to playing with him this year and for years to come.
It's time now to welcome in our fantastic SNY football insider, Ralph Vacchiano. And Ralph, I know you did not think we were going to go one day without talking about Odell Beckham.
I was hoping, but no, I knew we'd still be able to talk about him again.
Well, hey, now we definitely are going to talk about him because he showed up. He was there for day one of the offseason program. So what does that mean for all of this trade speculation and frenzy for kind of his long-term future with the team?
Well, probably nothing, but it is a step in the right direction for him. Look, there's nothing that's going to take away the trade speculation and people thinking that he's still going to somehow be shopped. Obviously, until he gets a long-term contract, we're going to be wondering when that'll happen. But, what I had been told all along was this trade stuff was really about the Giants sending him a message that they wanted him committed to their program, that they wanted his behavior cleaned up, and him showing up, maybe for a day, maybe a week, we don't know yet, whatever it is, him showing up is a small sign to them that he's willing to be committed. And that's the way they're taking it, that, this is a big step. He didn't show up at all last year for the offseason program. At least he's there for the beginning this time, talking with the coaches, meeting with teammates. And maybe that's the first step for them to say, you know what, if he's healthy enough, maybe his behavior will change. Maybe he really will be committed to us. And then in that case, the Giants can think about committing to him.
All right, so Beckham showed up. That's out of the way, along with really just about everybody else, but not new right tackle Ereck Flowers. So how unhappy were the Giants with that?
Well, from what I'm told, they were very unhappy with that. Look, this is a very strange decision by Ereck Flowers. He's a guy who, of all the players on the roster, you'd think would need to be there. He's had really a disappointing first 3 years of his career. He's lost his job at left tackle, picking up a new position. At the end of last season, he was benched, and his attitude, his professionalism, all that was questioned. This was a chance for him to get a fresh start, and to be the only guy who didn't show up is a very, very odd choice. And you have to remember with Ereck Flowers, this is a new regime. He's not their former first-round pick, so you have to wonder now, if he doesn't show up, if he doesn't have a good excuse for why he wasn't there, you wonder if they're not going to think about cutting him, trading him, or getting rid of him, because really they don't have the investment in him that the previous regime did.
All right, now last season there was a lot of drama. One story, of course, was Eli Apple, who was suspended at the end of last season. He was there, obviously, but has he made up with the teammates that he seemed to alienate last season?
Well, according to Landon Collins, he has. And really, Landon Collins is the one that matters the most, because Landon Collins, at the end of last season, right after Christmas, went on the radio and said that Eli Apple was a cancer. And that's a hard thing to say about a teammate and a hard thing to walk back. But when we talked to Landon Collins on Monday, he said that, he's spoken to Eli Apple. They've buried the hatchet, and they're good now. And from everything that I've heard about Eli Apple's first day from players and people in the organization who were there, they said that Eli's attitude was much better. His body language, everything about him felt right. And again, it's only day one, so you have to sort of take it with a grain of salt. We haven't talked to Eli Apple yet to hear his take on the whole thing, but there's a lot of people in that building who believe that Eli Apple is ready for a fresh start and is going to take advantage of it and will really be a big factor for this team.